Hey everyone, my name is Coach Buchanan and welcome to Coach's Kitchen. Today we are going to be doing one of my favorite dishes, and there's really just a few reasons why this is one of my favorite dishes. Today we're going to be doing lean meat turkey tacos, okay? Now, I'm gonna give you three reasons why this is one of my favorite dishes. I think the first reason this is my favorite dish is we're talking about some really fresh, simple ingredients, right? We're talking about lean ground beef, onions, tomatoes, cilantro, very simple, very fresh ingredients. So I think that's the first thing. The second thing is that it's delicious, right? Like it's really a flavorful dish. You can add all types of different things to it. And so, not only is it, fresh, it's flavorful, but at the same time, and I think it's one of my favorite reasons, it's inexpensive. You have just a few ingredients and you can make this dish one time and have leftovers for 3 or 4 days. It's just something that I think is really fitting for teenagers, young adults, older adults, people like me, whoever that wants to have a meal that's on a budget, right? So today we're going to be doing lean meat turkey tacos. Now, for the record, another reason why tacos is really good is because you can really use any protein that you want. So, I do have some turkey here, ground turkey, but you can use ground beef, you can use steak, you can use shrimp, you could use chicken, you could do pork, there's all types of things, fish, there's all types of things that you can put into a taco to make it to your liking. So today I'm doing something very cheap, very inexpensive, very healthy for your body, and I'm doing lean ground turkey. So let's go ahead and get into it. I don't want to take too much of your time, but we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to think about what's going to take the longest in this meal. What's going to take the longest to cook? And the thing that's going to take the longest is the beef, because the beef is the only thing that we have to cook. Everything else is sliced or diced or chopped or however you're going to do it. And so we're going to go ahead and start with the ground turkey and get that browning, and then we'll move on to the other ingredients. Now, before we get to browning, I do want to talk a little bit about the health decisions that go along with a meal like this. Typically people may go to the store and they may get something like this, right? Your Ortega taco seasoning or some type of taco seasoning like this, right? But if you do what I do and you flip over to the back of the package and you look at the ingredients, you see the first ingredient is yellow corn flour. And when you think about trying to be healthy, you want to have something that's all natural, right, as the first ingredient, or at least what you would expect to be the first ingredient. And I'm looking for seasoning, so I would expect a spice to be my first ingredient, not yellow corn flour or something I can't pronounce. It's maltodextrin, right? And so there's so many other things, modified cornstarch, that I don't need in this dish. And so what I did was I used my phone, just like many of you may have. I used my phone and I looked up what are some of the spices that tacos typically have, that, maybe Hispanic, the Hispanic culture, Hispanic people might put in their foods, and I can mimic the same thing and probably get what's in here, right? And so I began to see things like garlic, right? Paprika, chili powder, cumin, salt, pepper. And so I had all these things in my house already, and you might have those things as well. And so I think one way to limit some calories, because this is an additional 20 calories in your meal of non-nutritious items. So to limit your calories and things that you don't need, just simply look at the ingredients. Do a little research, okay? And you never know, you might find something, a spice or something you've never had that you enjoy. Right? So let's go ahead and get started, right? I have my ground turkey. Now, the first thing that I want to do is I want to set up my area, right? If you notice, you can't see it here, but you can see it here, is that I have everything set up, okay? Everything set up for success right here. I have my meat, I have all of my vegetables, I have all of my spices that I need to flavor my meat, I have my oil, I have my trash can here, I have everything that I need to be successful, but also keep a clean cooking area, because that's safe. The safety is the first thing, okay? And then I also have a pretty sharp knife, so I don't have to cut myself trying to cut into the vegetables. So let's go ahead and get started. What I'm gonna do is, I have about a 9-inch skillet here, and that's plenty big enough for me to cook a pound of meat. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my fire. Now, wherever you are, you're gonna turn your fire on. You can go to your kitchen, and you're gonna put your fire on to a medium-high heat, okay? And you're gonna put your pan on there, and you're gonna let your pan get hot. If you don't let your pan get hot, when you put your meat into the skillet, it's gonna stick. It's not gonna begin cooking, it's gonna begin sticking. And then you're gonna be scraping meat off the bottom of the pan, and you don't wanna be doing that, okay? So you wanna make sure that you have it heating up first, okay? All right. So go ahead and let that get heated up. Okay. After that's been heating up for about 2 minutes, or while that's heating up, what you can do is go ahead and begin peeling and chopping your vegetables, okay? Because while that's cooking, you can be chopping your vegetables, okay? First thing I'm gonna start with is my onion, okay? And the reason I'm gonna start with my onion is because my tomato has juice and I wanna keep the same board. I don't want there to be juice all over the board, so I'm gonna start with my onion first, okay? So I'm gonna cut the ends of my onion off, all right? Now, if you're looking, we wanna be very careful. We wanna always have control of that knife, okay? You don't wanna hold the knife down here, okay? You don't wanna do that. You wanna have control of that blade, okay? And then you wanna get your fingertips out of the way. So you're gonna hold the onion firmly, put the tip of the knife down, and you're gonna cut down into that onion. You're gonna flip it over, you're gonna cut down into that onion, okay? Now take your scraps, put those in the trash can, or even better, if you are like Ron Finley, you're gonna go ahead and begin composting, okay? Now I feel that pan getting nice and hot, okay? I feel it getting nice and hot, so I'm gonna put just a tablespoon of oil in there, just a little bit of oil. And the reason I'm doing that is because turkey doesn't have a whole lot of fat, okay? Turkey doesn't have a lot of fat, and so I wanna give it a little bit of help, okay? This is 93% lean ground turkey, so I wanna give it a little bit of help, prevent it from sticking, put some fat in there for it. So, you hear that? Yeah, you hear that? That's the sound that you want to hear when you put your turkey into the pot, okay? Or into the skillet. So now I'm going to begin breaking it up, okay? Be very careful when you're cooking. You know, you want to have, if you haven't had much experience in the kitchen, you want to make sure that you have someone, you know, in there that can give you a little bit of coaching, because you know, oil will pop up on you. You may get hot, and you don't want to be, you know, dropping it everywhere. And so you want to go ahead and let that meat cook, okay? So break it up in the pan. Let your meat cook. Now notice I have not seasoned my meat yet. I have not seasoned my meat yet. Who can tell me why I haven't seasoned my meat yet? Who can tell me why I haven't seasoned my meat yet? Like, if maybe just think logically, okay, about heat, things like that. Why might I not want to season my meat just yet? You're exactly right, because if I start seasoning it now, I might burn all of the seasonings. I don't want to do that. I don't want my stuff to taste good. I don't want to be burning all my seasonings, so I'm not going to season the meat until it's just ready to come out of the pan, maybe a minute before it's ready to come out of the pan. Okay. Okay. All right. So While that's doing that, I'm gonna throw all the things that I don't need away, all the scraps. I have my onion, okay? Now, this is sitting in fat, so it's not going to burn, and so you can cook this on a medium heat. Just check it once in a while. But the thing about cooking is you do want to multitask, okay? You want to multitask. You want to get comfortable with splitting your mind into two different places and trying to do multiple things at once. So right now, while I'm watching that cook, I'm also peeling my onion, okay? I'm also peeling my onion, getting ready to chop my onion, okay? So now when I chop my onion, I'm gonna cut it in slices first, okay? Now what I like to do is put my hand over top of the onion like this and cut in slices. That way my pieces don't fall off, okay? So I'm going to cut that in slices. Okay, notice I'm not chopping, I'm working with the knife. The knife is curved for a reason, okay? And then I'm gonna turn it and cut it this way. That's gonna give me nice even cuts, okay? There we go. Okay, I'll push that to the side. Now that that part half is done, I'll go ahead and flip my meat, okay? And then I'll chop the other half. Then I'll season my meat. So, how's it going over there? How are you guys doing? Give me a thumbs up if you're doing okay. All right. Again, you're only doing two things right now. You're just browning your meat. You can do this as slow as you like. It doesn't have to be on a high flame. Okay. You're browning your meat. And you're chopping your onion, okay? So let that meat continue to cook. Push the onion to the side. You chop and turn, and you chop. There we go. Okay, now you're done with your onion. Now I'm gonna do my tomato, okay? Before I do my tomato, go ahead and take my onion, put that in my little bowl because that's gonna go on my taco. Boom, done. Give a little peek to my meat, make sure it's good. It's good, give it a little turn. I still see some pink spots, so we're not quite done yet. Okay, we wanna make sure that it's cooked all the way through. Any meat, you know, like turkey, chicken, things that needs to be cooked to 165. Now, you don't have a meat thermometer, so here, you're going to just make sure it's brown all the way through. You don't want to see any pink spots, okay, especially on turkey. Turkey and chicken, no. Got to be cooked all the way through. Beef sometimes can be cooked, as long as it's a good beef, that can be cooked to maybe pink, okay? Now I'm gonna turn that down. I'm gonna begin seasoning, okay? So I'm gonna say a teaspoon of everything, but you always wanna taste, okay? So I'm gonna take a little bit of salt, put a teaspoon of salt in there, and I'm gonna season from up high, right? And season from up high, okay? Maybe a little bit more salt. So maybe 2 teaspoons of salt. No, that's probably a teaspoon. Okay, season that. You season till you just feel like it's enough, okay? Some garlic powder, put that on there. Now I've turned my heat off now, okay? My heat is no longer on. Some paprika, okay? If you have some paprika, go ahead, that's for color. And people say paprika doesn't have flavor, but it does, especially when it's cooked. It's a pepper, okay? Chili powder, a little bit of chili powder. Now not too much because that's a little spicy. And then some cumin. Okay, then some cumin. If you got some black pepper, throw that in there, okay? Let's go ahead and give that a toss. Go ahead and give that a toss. That's your taco seasoning, okay? It's delicious. Turn your heat back on low, okay? And just make sure that those seasonings are cooked all the way through. All right, there you go. Now you can always taste one. If you think you've tasted and it's like, oh, I might need a little bit more salt, add a little bit more salt. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Add a little bit more salt. Okay, let's see. Let's taste it. That is tasty. I don't need anything else. That is tasty. That is delicious. Okay. So I'm turning my meat off and just let it sit there. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna finish chopping up my tomato, okay? Then all you have to do is assemble, okay? Then all you have to do is assemble. So with my tomato, I'm gonna cut the center out, okay? Just with the tip of the knife, I'm gonna cut the center of the tomato out, because you don't wanna eat that. It's a little harder, okay? Then I'm just going to turn it and slice, okay? Turn it and slice, turn it and slice, turn it and slice. Big chunks because we're gonna turn it and chop it again, okay? Turn it and slice, and slice, and slice. Okay, and then one more time for another rough chop, okay? There you go, you just chop it up in small pieces, okay? Don't worry about all the juice. It's supposed to be there. It's all natural. It's okay. Okay, there you go. So now, you're gonna go ahead and boom, put your tomatoes in there. It's about presentation, baby. Presentation. Right? So now you got that. Okay? You have some cilantro. I'm gonna just sit that up there for now. You have some cilantro. Okay, now all you have to do is assemble. Okay, now I have some hard taco and soft taco shells here. Some of my favorites, but I'm a soft taco shell person. Okay, boom, I have my soft taco shell. Okay, I like my cheese on the bottom than the meat. Okay, because it melts the cheese just a little bit. Okay, I have a method for everything. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the Mexican flavored cheese on there. Okay, now everything in moderation. Remember, I said that this can be healthy, but the moment it becomes unhealthy is when we begin putting things on there, too much on there. We put too much sour cream. You put too much cheese, too much taco seasoning, those types of things. And so you do want to just be very careful with the amount of, just extra condiments that you put on there, okay? You don't need to overfill it. You can always come back and get another taco, okay? So I put my meat on, my ground beef on there, all right? Little bit of taco seasoning. Delicious. A dollop of daisy. You gotta do a dollop, do a dollop of daisy. Here we go. Dollop of daisy. Yup. Little tomato. Boom. Little onion. Boom. Couple pieces of cilantro. Do I want salsa? Yes, because salsa is healthy for you, okay? Little bit of salsa. Well, I don't have a spoon right here, so I'm not gonna worry about the salsa. Okay, we'll get that next time. Okay, but there, quick, easy, healthy, light, inexpensive taco. That is delicious. Take a look at that. That's delicious. That tastes like Mexico in my hand. I love it. Thank you guys for checking in. I'll see you next time in Coach's Kitchen. Peace.